In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college basketball games happening on November 4th, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Howard versus Kansas. The Howard Bison and the Kansas Jayhawks are set to clash in a college basketball matchup on Monday at the Allen Fieldhouse. This game marks an exciting season opener for both teams, with each looking to establish momentum early in the season and gain valuable game time experience for their rosters. Last season, the Howard Bison finished with an overall record of 18-17, which included a solid 9-5 record in conference play, good enough to tie for second place in their conference. However, this year's team will look quite different due to a significant roster turnover, with only 2 starters returning from last year. The Bison did gain an opportunity to gel over the summer with a team trip to Brazil, giving players and coaches extra practice time together, which could prove beneficial as they prepare for a challenging season. A key player for Howard heading into this matchup is Bryce Harris, who was a standout last season, averaging 17 points per game, which made him the second highest scorer in the conference. For Howard to stay competitive in this game, Harris will likely need to step up with a big performance. Another returning player, Marcus Dockery, also averaged a solid 13.5 points per game last season and reportedly worked hard during the offseason to increase his strength and conditioning, which could translate to a more impactful presence on the court. The Kansas Jayhawks enter this season with a high level of confidence, backed by an experienced roster and a reputation for being one of the most talented teams in the nation. This Kansas squad has a mix of returning players and fresh faces who bring added depth and skill. Leading the charge is Hunter Dickinson, a key player who dealt with some injuries in recent weeks but is expected to be ready for action in this game. Dickinson's size and skill make him a potential matchup nightmare for opposing teams, though Kansas will be looking for him to showcase and prove defensive skills that could be crucial as the season progresses. Additionally, Kansas gained Zeke Mayo from South Dakota State, known for his 3-point shooting prowess, and Ryland Griffin from Alabama, both of whom are expected to contribute significantly. As is typical, Kansas is seen as the preseason favorite to win the Big 12, although they will face tough competition throughout the season. The Jayhawks are coming off a year where they were eliminated by Gonzaga in the NCAA tournament's second round, a result that prompted the program to bolster its roster with both experienced and talented new players. Returning starters such as Dickinson, KJ Adams, and Dajuan Harris bring experience and leadership, while the addition of transfer guard AJ Storr should strengthen Kansas's offense with his scoring ability and playmaking. Given the consistent roster turnover seen in college basketball, Kansas is in a strong position, benefiting from having veteran continuity at the top of its lineup. The Jayhawks are expected to use this opener to settle into game rhythm while focusing on building upon last year's team dynamics. On the other side, Howard faces a challenging road ahead as they are ranked outside the top 200 in KenPom. However, they remain one of the top-rated teams in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference and are aiming for their 3rd consecutive trip to the NCAA tournament, following back-to-back conference championship wins. Bryce Harris, named the preseason player of the year in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, is expected to lead the charge for Howard, though he will likely face a tough test against Kansas's defense, which is projected to be among the nation's top 10 in efficiency. Howard may struggle to keep pace with the fast Kansas offense, which is likely to push the tempo, creating quick scoring opportunities in transition. Kansas's depth and skill on the bench mean even late-game substitutions will continue to pressure Howard, which may limit their chances to cover the spread in garbage time scenarios. Though the Howard Bison have their sights set on another NCAA tournament appearance, they will likely find Monday's game a tall task against a Kansas team that's considered one of the top contenders nationwide. Kansas boasts a deep and talented roster that should have little trouble finding success in this matchup. Expect the Jayhawks to take advantage of their depth. For this reason, the Kansas Jayhawks to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Howard's returning star Bryce Harris, who averaged 17 points and 7.5 rebounds, will be central to their hopes, while Marcus Dockery's contributions, including his 13.5 points per game last season, add needed support. Dom Campbell and Os Akoji, who contributed 4.5 rebounds and significant minutes last season, respectively, round out the key returning players for a Howard team aiming for its third straight tournament appearance. Harris is considered the best player in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference and will look to lead his team back to March Madness. For Kansas, Hunter Dickinson returns following an impressive season where he averaged 18 points and 10.9 rebounds. Alongside him, KJ Adams Jr., who averaged 13 points and 3.1 assists, and Delwan Harris Jr., with 6.5 assists per game, offer stability and skill. The Jayhawks also bring in impact transfers like Zeke Mayo from South Dakota State and AJ Storr from Wisconsin, both of whom are expected to make immediate contributions. The incoming recruiting class, which features highly touted prospects Flory Bidunga and Rakesh Passmore, further strengthens Kansas's formidable lineup. Given these factors, under the projected total, our full game total pick: Mississippi Valley State versus Iowa State. In the season opener for both teams, the Mississippi Valley State Delta Devils will travel to Ames, Iowa, on Monday to face off against the Iowa State Cyclones, currently ranked number 5 in the nation. This game will take place at the Hilton Coliseum and marks the beginning of what promises to be an exciting NCAA basketball season for Iowa State, who are coming off a strong season and are seen as contenders this year. The Mississippi Valley State Delta Devils had a challenging season last year, finishing with a disappointing 1-30 record overall and going just 1-17 in the Southwestern Athletic Conference, placing them last in their conference standings. The Delta Devils managed to score an average of only 55.5 points per game while allowing an average of 78 points, demonstrating their struggle on both ends of the court. Their season started with a tough 106-60 defeat against LSU, and the team wasn't competitive in most of their early non-conference matchups. Although they showed slightly more promise in Southwestern Athletic Conference play, they only secured a single victory, defeating Prairie View Agricultural and Mechanical with a close score of 57-51. This year, Mississippi Valley State is projected to remain one of the weaker programs, facing a daunting non-conference schedule that could lead to another challenging season. The team lost their leading scorer from last year but returns Donovan Sanders, who averaged 10.5 points and 3 rebounds per game. Beyond Sanders, however, there is little returning production, so the Delta Devils will face a steep uphill battle this season. In contrast, the Iowa State Cyclones come into this season after an impressive 29-8 record last year, where they finished second in the Big 12 with a 13-5 conference record. They averaged 75 points per game and allowed just 61.5 points on defense, showcasing their well-balanced approach. Iowa State kicked off the 2023-2024 season with a commanding 85-44 win over Green Bay, demonstrating their strength early on. The Cyclones excelled in the Big 12, even winning the Big 12 tournament after a decisive 69-41 victory over Houston in the final. Their strong tournament run saw them advance to the NCAA tournament, where they won 2 games before a narrow 72-69 loss to Illinois ended their journey. This season, Iowa State returns most of its key players from last year, including 4 who averaged double figures, and they have also added a new transfer to strengthen their front court. With this talented roster, the Cyclones are seen as serious national championship contenders, and many fans and analysts are eager to see how far they can go. Mississippi Valley State faces a daunting challenge in their season opener against a top-tier team in Iowa State. The Cyclones are known for their strong defense, which has been a hallmark of their program, and this year they are expected to be a high-scoring team as well. With limited roster changes, Iowa State should find it easy to establish a rhythm early in the season. While the Delta Devils may show improvement from last year, it is unlikely they will be competitive in this matchup against such a formidable opponent. Iowa State's defense is likely to perform at an elite level, making it difficult for Mississippi Valley State to put points on the board. Despite a large spread, the Iowa State Cyclones to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Iowa State State's success last season in finishing second in the Big 12 has set high expectations as they aim to capture the top spot in the conference this year. While not necessarily packed with superstar players, the Cyclones possess considerable depth and talent across their roster, from the starting lineup through to the bench. Tamin Lipsey, who averaged 12 points and 4.6 rebounds per game last season, is a key returning player. Additionally, Keshawn Gilbert, a transfer from UNLV before last season, made a significant impact by contributing 14 points per game. With Iowa State's offense averaging 75 points per game and their defense allowing just 61.5 points on average, they have a winning formula that could be highly effective in this opening game if their defense performs as expected. For the Delta Devils, even modest progress this season would be a step forward. Doubling last year's win total would require only 2 wins, which is within reach if they can leverage their new roster additions. The team has undergone considerable changes, and although they may struggle to match Iowa State's talent level, some new players could have an impact. Alvin Stredrick Jr., who missed last season, is back and expected to make a difference on the court. Mississippi Valley State has also brought in a group of junior college players with scoring ability, such as Antonio Sis, who averaged 19 points per game at Dallas College Cedar Valley. However, despite these additions, the talent gap between the Delta Devils and the Cyclones is significant, making an upset highly improbable. Given Iowa State's solid defense and Mississippi Valley State's likely offensive struggles, under the projected total is our full game total pick. UNC Asheville versus Alabama. The UNC Asheville Bulldogs and the Alabama Crimson Tide are set to clash on Monday night in an exciting college basketball showdown at Coleman Coliseum. Last season, the Bulldogs had a strong performance, finishing with a 22-12 record overall and a 12-4 mark in the Big South Conference. Their solid conference play put them near the top of the standings, just behind High Point, which secured the lead with a 13-3 record. The Bulldogs' season came to a close after a tough loss to Longwood in the Big South Tournament Championship game. As they gear up for the new season, UNC Asheville will bring back 2 of their 5 starters under head coach Mike Morrill, who is entering his 7th year. Additionally, the Bulldogs have added Justin Wright, a transfer from Loyola Marymount, who last season averaged 11 points, 3.4 rebounds, and 1.9 assists per game, bringing more depth and experience to their lineup. On the Alabama side, the Crimson Tide concluded the 2023-2024 season with an impressive 25-12 record and a 13-5 showing in Southeastern Conference play. This record positioned them in the number 3 spot among Southeastern Conference teams, trailing only behind Tennessee and Kentucky. Alabama's season ended with a Final Four appearance where they faced a tough loss to UConn with a final score of 86-72. Entering the 2024-2025 season, Alabama holds a prestigious number 2 ranking in the AP poll, a testament to the strength of their program under 7th-year head coach Nate Oates. Despite losing 3 of their 5 starters, Alabama has reloaded with talent, including Rutgers transfer Clifford Omarui, who is expected to fill the gap left by departing center Nick Pringle. The team will also be without former standout guards Aaron Estrada, who averaged 13 points per game, and Rylan Griffin, who added 11 points per game last season. Alabama heads into opening night ranked 2nd in the AP poll, with high expectations for the season. Led by standout point guard Mark Sears, who is among the top contenders for the Wooden Award, the Crimson Tide are well positioned for another potential Final Four run. Alabama appears capable of covering the spread in this matchup, particularly due to UNC Asheville's offensive style. The Bulldogs have consistently ranked within the top 100 in terms of average offensive possession length over the past 2 seasons, according to Ken Palm. This approach capitalized on the skill of Drew Pember, one of the most valuable players in the nation last season, who ranked 28th in Bart Torvik's Porpagado statistic, measuring a player's value over a replacement. With Pember no longer on the team, UNC Asheville's fast-paced offense may actually play into Alabama's hands, allowing the Crimson Tide to exploit their high-powered offense. Given these factors, Alabama is favored not only to win but also to cover the spread comfortably. In terms of individual performances, UNC Asheville will see the return of key contributors such as Josh Banks, who averaged 13 points and 3.4 rebounds, and Fletcher Abbey, who posted averages of 11 points and 1.3 assists last season. Additionally, Toya Solomon, who logged 555 minutes, and Greg Gant Jr., with 183 minutes, will be back to add depth to the roster. Although the Bulldogs bid farewell to their best player, Drew Pember, they retained 2 double-digit scorers and 3 of their top 6 scorers from last season. Alabama's roster also boasts strong returning players, including Mark Sears, who averaged an impressive 21.5 points and 4 assists, and Grant Nelson, who contributed 12 points and 5.9 rebounds per game. Lateral right Jr. added 3 rebounds per game, while Jaron Stevenson logged 614 minutes on the court. The Crimson Tide's returning talent is bolstered by the addition of freshman Aiden Holloway from Auburn and the experienced Clifford Amarui from Rutgers, giving Alabama a formidable lineup. For this game, we anticipate a high-scoring affair. Over the projected total is our full game total pick for now. So if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.